Hi, fifth graders. Welcome to Flipped Math and Lesson 5.4, which is work on the coordinate grid. I'm starting though with a little joke. Please read it, see if you understand. And then we have a warm-up. So pause the video and answer these three questions. We've been trying to get proficient at addition and subtraction and multiplication and division of what we call signed numbers, positive and negative numbers. So again, do these three problems and then restart the video. So we are on lesson 5.4, and our learning target for this lesson is that I will be able to plot, name, and label points in any four quadrants of a coordinate grid. So we have to be able to name the coordinates, we need to be able to label points, we need to be able to plot points in our grid. And the new vocabulary is ordered number pairs, our rectangular coordinate grid, the origin, the axis and axes, just the word coordinate, and then midpoint. So we have a graphic that shows us the quadrants. And if you start right here, in this quadrant, all the coordinates are positive. So if we were to graph 3, 4, both of those coordinates, that ordered pair is positive. If we move this direction, the x-coordinate is negative, the y-coordinate is positive. If we move to this part of the grid, both the x and y coordinates are negative. And if we move to our fourth area, the x coordinate is positive and the y is negative. So here are our four parts of our coordinate. And little hint over here, it says when plotting points, the order is vital. Think of the alphabet. X comes before Y. So we're going to graph our X point before we graph our Y coordinate. So again, here's our rectangular coordinate grid. It names points in a plane, our grid part of the plane. And we said we needed to know vertical and horizontal axis. Here is our vertical axis. Here is our horizontal axis. Together, these two lines are called axes, A-X-E-S. They meet at right angles at what is called the origin. This is the 0 point. So again, the vertical axis and the horizontal axis meet at the origin. They form right angles at the origin, which has the ordered pair 0, 0. So again, here's the origin. Here are examples of ordered number pairs. Positive, positive and negative, negative and negative. Each of these points is called a coordinate. Together, they're an ordered number pair. They're usually found in parentheses and they're separated by a comma. So now I'm going to go back to my rectangular coordinate grid, and I'm going to plot that first point I had on the last slide, 5, 3. I'll get my pen and I'll use blue. So remember, we always go in the horizontal direction first. So that x-axis, we go over 5, and then we go up or down depending on a positive or negative. It was 5, 3. So my point is right there. The second ordered pair was 0, negative 4. So again, 0 is our horizontal, our x. It's right there at the origin. And then minus 4 right there. The next ordered pair was 3, 0. So again, first doing our x point would be 3, but we're not going up or down because we're staying right on the axis. 4, 3, 0. And the last point was 4, negative 4. So again, x-axis first over 4, and then the y-axis down to negative 4. Sometimes when we plot points, we are told to connect them in some way, and there'll always be a direction for that. So in the work that you're going to be doing in your journal, the first page you will be labeling points and you'll be identifying where points are. So for example, if I go back to this, if I had to identify this point and list its ordered pair, I would say it is 5, 3. We write that again with the parentheses 5, comma 3, always listing the point on the x axis first, then the y. So on one page of your assignment, you're going to be adding points. You're going to see that there are a number of these little grids that are 5 by 5. And in this first one, you'll see the letter A and the letter B. You're going to be told to add a third point, letter C. And when you connect the points, you are to end up with a scalene triangle. Scalene triangle has no sides equal. And then in the next square, you'll be told to add 1 or 2 points to create another shape. So that's just explanatory for what you'll be doing in class. The other part of this lesson in class is that you will be adding midpoints. The midpoint of a line is the point halfway between the ends of your segment. So I put a ruler on there and created a line segment that was about 6 centimeters long. The midpoint would be halfway or 3. And again, you might be asked to make a midpoint on a line that's drawn vertically, but again, I'd be measuring my line. This was about 5, so my midpoint halfway is about 2.5. You also might see a vertical line, and again, you'll be able to measure or look at its placement on the grid and figure out what half of that point is. 7 is about 3.5. So that too will be one of your assignments in your math journal. You will see some line segments on a coordinate grid, and you will have to find the midpoints of these lines. And when you've got a slanted line, one of the ways you can do it is look at your either x or y coordinates. So here, one of the x coordinates is a 4. The other x coordinate is negative 2. I actually can find the mean of these two numbers. Positive 4 plus a negative 2 would give me 2. And the mean of that number, because I have two endpoints, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So my midpoint is going to be at 1 right there. So that's also part of the assignment that you will be asked to complete in your math journal. So I wanted to give you a couple of examples. All right, on this last slide, hopefully you're going to be able to take this quick quiz, clicking on question 1 and going through the quiz to question 15. So remember to think mathematically, and I will see you in class.